Hey guys, welcome to the next episode of Codeability. My name is Mukul Duneja and I am a full stack developer at the Codework. So today we'll be looking at how we can use multiple GitHub accounts on a single Windows machine. So let's jump straight to the topic. So there are a couple of pre-requirements for this which are mentioned in this slide. So first you will be needing a Git bash on your Windows system and you should have one login account already. You will be needing a Windows 7 and above, and for the current user you will be needing admin permissions. So to set up multiple accounts we are going to use SSH keys on GitHub, and also we are going to use SSH method for cloning a repository too. Now first open your Git bash terminal. Now by default you will be in your user folder, so type commands. Now you will be in your SSH folder and type command ls to view the contents of the folder. So in my folder there are already couple of files being made. So it is possible that there might be no file in your SSH folder, or there are, depending upon have you already used the SSH or not. So but the main file we are concerned right now is about the config file. So if you do not have the config file in your SSH folder, type the command touch config and a new file will already be created. So to check that the file is all created or not, type command ls and you can see that config file is already created. Now you already have created the config file. So our next step is to be creating the SSH keys. So for that there are a couple of ways. The one way is to go to Google and type how to generate a key in GitHub, and for that select Windows there and go to the column of generating a new SSH key. So you can type this command and enter the email address that belongs to your GitHub account. And in the next, so whenever you type the email, make sure that it is a different email. So yeah, you can for right now you can create the key without the password phrase, and for that press enter and enter. And for the third step, where it is written enter a file in which you want to save the key, that demands the path of the file. But if you want to create in the same folder, then you can just type the name of the file and create enter. And the second way is to type the command ssh.keygen -f and name of the file. So for this tutorial, I will be giving the name of the file, tutorial file 1. So the passphrase I want to keep it empty for now. So I will press enter and again enter. So this file will be created. So you have to create the number of keys as per the number of accounts you want to attach in a single machine. So I want to attach 2 accounts, which is my professional account and personal account. So I will be creating 2 keys. Same step will be followed for this key too. Right. So now you have already created the multiple file for the SSH. And I forgot to tell you one thing there. Make sure the name of the files are different, because if you are using the same file name, then it will ask to override the previous file, which we don't want. So right now we are going to go to our GitHub account. So in your GitHub account, go to your avatar position and type for and go look for settings. In your settings, go look on the left hand side, go look for SSH JPG keys. So here you will see that there is a property called new SSH key. So click that and add a title. For example, I want this to be my professional key from Windows laptop. Now go to your terminal, your bash terminal, and type command ls. So there you will be see that there are 4 files created. One of the file name is what you have created, and the second file will be the same file name with .pub extension. And same goes for the number of SSH keys you have created. So what we have to do is type command cat name of your file, which is tutorial file 1.pb. Copy that and paste it and type command enter. So now you can see that there are these keys to be created. So copy this key. So Control Shift plus C will work on this GitHub terminal, and Control C will end that. So just copy this key and paste this key into this. And now click the button and SSH key. Now I have logged in my second account, which is Nupul1010. So in this account I will again go to the settings, SSH in GPG keys, and where we add new SSH key. Again, this other quickly title will be my first node from the first. So in this second account, I have to add the second key which I have created. But I will show you what will happen if we add the same key that has been already added in the first account. So I think I have already cleaned my clipboard. So go to your git bash. I'm going to copy this key. So yeah. So if you try to add the key that already been used, so you'll get that key is already in use. So now we're going to git bash, and we're going to get our second file, which is tutorial file 2.pub. So there is some error. Yeah. So now I will copy this key. And again I will add the title because previous one was not saved. So I will personal groups and the key here. Now it will be successfully added in this GitHub account.
We have added the SSH keys on both of our GitHub accounts. We again will be moving to the git bash terminal. So if you are already in the SSH folder, great. If you are not, then please move to the SSH folder, and you can use the command in the video, which was earlier being told. So now you are going to use editor to edit the config file. There are multiple ways to edit the config file. You can use their old name editor if you want, or you can use the notepad like that and press enter, or you can use any editor. I would like to use the VS Code editor, so I'm going to write the command code config. So it will open my config. So as you can see, I've already made the config or edit the config file. So I will explain what are the contents of this file. This hash will represent the comment to differentiate between the things we have written under it. So host name, and identity file. So starting from an identity file, what is identity file? Identity file is the path of the SSH key that we are going to use, or that we have already been using in our GitHub account. So in our last demo, we were using file name to tutorial file 1. So we will copy like that without the .pub extension, and the second file was tutorial file 2. So in my professional account, I have used tutorial file 1, but in the personal account, I have used tutorial file 2. So I'll be replacing those. So yeah, host will be the identifier name that we will be used for differentiating from which account we are going to download the repository. So for the professional account, I'm going to use github.com-p, and for the personal account, I'm going to use github.com Mukul, which is for ID Mukul tab, or GitHub name as Mukul tab. Right? I'm just reverting my stuff. So yeah, hostname will be the github.com, because we are using github.com to download the repository or creating a copy of the repository. And please change this file. This is my personal files. So once we are done with that, just press Control Save, or just save the file and close the window. The file will be saved, and once you can check that the contents of the file on the terminal by using cat config. So yeah, as you can see that this file is already, the config file is already been edited, so you are good to go. Now we have edited our config file, so I will show you what the error we are facing and how we are going to resolve it. So yeah, I'm going to my personal account, and I'm going to my repositories. So I'll choose this repository. So okay, so now if I do this, git clone and copy the repository. So in my global Git bash, I have configured my professional ID, but I want to use this repository from my personal ID. Yeah, here it is. So I'm going to do in this folder, or what I can do is just go to VS Code and open the folder. So here there is a file called notes.txt in my set repository. So what I'm going to do is add a sentence, random sentence here, to tell you what we are going to face. So I have added this. I have added commit random line, git push, and master. So here you can see that my personal repository was Mosaic demo and my personal account was Mukul 1010, but it was denied to Mukul AD because this is my professional account which is being registered in globally in the Git patch. So I'm denied access for that. So what we can do is we delete this repository. So after deleting the repository, again we should move to our personal account, and instead of choosing HTTPS now, we're going to use SSH. So copy the SSH link and go to the desktop or any folder that you wish to clone the repository. Now I'm going to open PowerShell here. You can do this by Control Shift and right click. So yeah, the PowerShell is open. So write command git clone and copy the link from the SSH that you have copied earlier. So in this link, what we are going to do is that we are going to edit this part that I am deleting. So git is the username that we are going to use to download from the GitHub. So go to the terminal and in the SSH folder, what we have to do is do cat config. So what I have done is in cat config earlier, or you have already done is that you have already created the identity file, host name, and all those things and added the configuration. So what we are going to do is, as this is my personal account, personal repository, I'm going to use the host github.com/mukul. Copy this host and paste it here. Sorry, my folder was already existing in here. So yeah, after deleting, I'm going to do it again. So now the repository is being done. The cloning of the repository is done. So again, go to the VS Code. The VS Code. Go to the open folder. First, close the old folder. Then I'm going to open the folder on the desktop, which is Mosaic demo. So I'm going to shift to my master branch. Sorry, master. So now that I have in master branch, I'm again going to add a random line in here. Sentence. Should be added. Git status, git end, commit, git push. So now that you see that I am able to push my changes in my repository. So I'm going to my personal repository, and what I'm going to see is the commit. So yes. So this are the changes pushed by me. So now this change is pushed by the branch or by the username, which is registered in my global Git bash or as in my professional account. So that's why there is showing that compare and pull branch, and as this is a private repository, so it is asking for that. But if it is a public repository, it is not going to ask for that, but it is going to show that a commit was being made by the user Mukulidi, which is my professional account. So to push the repository from the same account that you are using as a personal account, what we are going to do is that in the VS Code provides the terminal, but you can use the terminal in the Linux or CMD and go to this folder and do like git config minus local user dot name as mukul 1010, which is my GitHub username, and git config minus local user dot email as my personal email. So I've already added this email in my account. So after the changes, you can confirm the changes by doing git minus config, git config minus local minus e. So as you can see that this opens config file in my VS Code because I've registered the default mode as a VS Code. Although you can set any of that in, you can set any editor in your case, if your Atom, if your Notepad, it's your choice. But I have set it as the core. So as you can see that this user is mukul1010, and if I do this git config minus local user dot email and 10@gmail.com, and I think sorry, this was the command, but you have to do is this, and again to check the config our local config file. So yeah, it adds the email fulltime10@gmail.com.
So what we saw earlier was that I have made the commit, and I wanted to show you the commits and the name it committed from. So earlier when I did the commit for the random line, it committed from the username Goldie, which is not my personal name user. So now I'm going to push the code from the Mukul 1010 because I have added the username and user email in the config file, in the local config file. Okay, so what I'm going to do is that I'm going to remove this line. Okay, and the message mistake git push master. So the push is being done. So now we'll move the repository, the account, touch the page. So yeah, now we can see that my commit message added by mistake is going by mukul1010, which was my personal account, and not by the global account, which was set in the git push. So one more thing, this is how I use SSH for the multiple accounts. My default git bash is set to my professional account, so I don't need to use SSH. I can just use HTTPS, or you can use the SSH as you wish. So I will not be showing that, but I show you how the demo, how can we use that, and the error that we were facing, and how did we solve the error after with SSH keys. So one more thing, if you want to use your favorite editor for editing the config file, so what we can do is go to the git bash command and type git config minus global minus e, just remove the e or write core dot, or I'll just show you. So yeah, here it is. So it is says core editor is code. So what we are going to do is change that editor, default editor. So we're going to do is going to git bash git fake dot editor. As for example, I want to set it as notepad. I'm going to do this for atom. I'm going to use this for VS Code. I'm going to use this. So let's say I want to use notepad. So I do this. So now checking the file. So you see the editor says notepad and it opens it as notepad. So I'm going to again change to my VS Code. So to write as code and again open it. So it's open in the VS Code, and that's it. So that's it for the tutorial. Let me know how you find this tutorial and leave the thumbs up if you find this useful. Thank you.
So that's it for the video. Thank you for watching it. And if you really find it useful, don't forget to hit that like button. And you can also subscribe our channel for more awesome videos and regular updates. And you can also follow us on our social media handles, the links of which is given in the description box below. Thank you.